The Tiguan has often been overlooked in the crowded compact SUV segment, even though it's VW's best-selling vehicle in the US. It's not bad, but it's not great either. But for 2025, VW is trying to position the new Tiguan as a premium choice in a segment that, while practical, doesn't offer a whole lot of luxury. As for Hyundai, the Tucson's latest generation came out in 2022, and it was one of the most eye-catching compact SUVs out there, with only the Kia Sportage giving it a run for its money. Now, Hyundai's decided to give the Tucson a facelift for 2025 and update the interior to better keep up with its rivals. But which one is a better buy? In this video, we will compare both SUVs' designs inside and out, pricing, and how they drive. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. The front fascia is a complete departure from the current model with a redesigned grille that's larger than the previous generation, flanked by two large air inlets and new headlights that are slimmer and less angular, rounding out a really handsome front end. From the side, there are no sharp lines compared to the previous generation, with subtle sculpting through the door panels. The wheel arches, however, have been made slightly more angular with a squircle shape. As for wheels, it comes standard with 17 inches, with 18s, 19s, and 20s optional. All wheel options have been redesigned. Out back, again, it's been completely redone, featuring a massive light bar that spans the entire width of the tailgate, connecting new slimmer taillights while also illuminating the VW logo. The bumper has also been completely redesigned, mirroring the front grille's design. As for Hyundai, the front fascia of the Tucson refines the design of the current model. The grille and headlights are where the bulk of the changes happen. The hidden LED headlights are now reshaped and sit proud of the surrounding grille, which has horizontal elements of various thicknesses. The grille, on the other hand, is even bolder by making its elements larger and subsequently reducing the amount of daytime running lights from 10 to 8. From the profile shot, not much has changed, which is great since it has one of the best-looking side profiles in the category. But some new wheel designs have been introduced which look even better than the previous ones. Out back, fewer updates were made. The same imposing taillights with the massive LED bar connecting them remain unchanged, though the lower bumper now features a slimmer middle section where the XRT trim houses a much sharper-looking diffuser. While the new Tucson looks more palatable than the VW, the new Tiguan just looks better, especially in higher trim levels. Instead of the old model's somewhat basic design, this generation is completely new. There is a layer of luxurious materials that extends from one door across the dash and to the other door to provide the cabin with a sense of coziness. Heck, VW even decided to add some American walnut wood trim to the dash to further spice things up. One downside is that there is a lot of shiny piano black trim that you will have to keep clean, but within it is ambient lighting that illuminates in a cool graphical effect with up to 30 different colors. Then there is the screens. Gone are last year's tiny 6.5 or 8-inch screens in favor of a new 12.9 inches display for low trims or a full 15 inches on higher-end models. A 10.3-inch digital driver display is now standard across the line. The new screens are a big change from the 2024 model, so they had to redesign the whole dashboard. The vents are now slimmer, but the worst change is that the physical climate controls are now integrated into the screen, which is a downgrade from the previous model. On a good note, however, is that the steering wheel controls are now actual buttons instead of a capacitive. Another helpful addition is a rotary knob sitting between the front seats that can switch from adjusting the stereo volume and drive remote settings. The new system is great with sharp graphics and a responsive interface with both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto standard. As for the Tucson, the in-cabin experience is where Hyundai applied most of its impactful changes for 2025. We criticized the previous Tucson's fuzzy touch-sensitive controls and just general lack of physical buttons. Well, it seems like Hyundai has listened and implemented more user-friendly knobs and switches. This new setup looks like a big upgrade for ease of use and ergonomics. The dashboard has also been redesigned. Gone are the wraparound chrome accents on the dash in favor of a slimmer and more horizontal look with a two-tier design. A redesigned steering wheel adopts the brand's Morse code H motif. Tucked just behind it is a new twist action shifter. The infotainment system has also been updated. It's now available with two 12.3-inch displays under a single glass piece. The interface itself has also been revamped with faster processing speeds and better visuals, while wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is now standard across the board. Add the newly available head-up display, the fingerprint scanner on the dash that can be used in place of a smart key, and the new addition of over-the-air software updates, and it's clear there's a lot of new content here. As far as interiors go, the Tiguan just blows the Tucsons out of the water, not only in terms of looks, but also in its tech offering. When it comes to interior and cargo space, the new Tiguan is slightly longer than the previous model at 187 inches. And while the seats are all new with more aggressive thigh and shoulder bolsters, they can feel a bit hard for longer journeys. The back seats are just as spacious with plenty of head and legroom, with the center seat integrated an armrest as standard. Cargo space is also decent, with around 30 cubic feet available with the rear seats up, or 59 with them folded flat. As for Hyundai, the Tucson's supportive front seats get 41.4 inches of legroom and 38.1 inches of headroom. It's in the back where Hyundai starts to flex its muscles with a massive 41.3 inches of legroom and 39 inches of headroom. Of its competitors, only the Honda and Toyota are marginally larger in headroom. Cargo space is also impressive, with 38.7 cubic feet available when the 60/40 rear seats are up, or 74.8 with them folded flat. As far as pricing goes, the 2025 Tiguan S starts at $29,500 and stretches all the way to $41,200. But the trim level to get is the SE, which combines a good mix of equipment and price, but it doesn't look anywhere near as good as the R-Line models. It includes newly redesigned 19-inch alloy wheels, power tailgate, a power driver's seat, dual-zone climate controls, and remote start. As for the Tucson, the SE starts at a lower price of just $28,355, but the trim level to get is the SEL Convenience at $32,665, and it comes loaded with the new dual 12.3-inch displays, wireless charging, keyless entry, heated front seats, and adaptive cruise control with lane keep and assist. As you can tell, both SUVs cost around the same, so which one you end up choosing will mainly depend on which model styling you like the most. When it comes to on-road performance, under the hood of the 2025 Tiguan is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that has been revised that now makes 201 horsepower, up from the previous generation's 184. This new Tiguan hits a sweet spot in its dimensions, because it's big enough that you get a spacious interior, but it's not so big that it's intimidating to drive around the city. Visibility is pretty good, and you sit high for a commanding view of the road ahead. The comfort and refinement largely continues out on the highway, where the Tiguan is quiet at higher speeds. The suspension continues to deal with bumps well on the whole here, but there is some road noise to contend with, especially on the top-spec model with 20-inch alloy wheels. Lower trims are a bit quieter. The 2025 Tucson, on the other hand, uses a much weaker 2.5-liter naturally aspirated inline-4, producing 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. This engine simply doesn't have the vigor to move this SUV with the desired oomph, especially compared to the Tiguan's turbocharged ones. But once you're up to speed, it's a peach on highways and city roads alike. There is enough give to the sidewalls and the 19-inch tires to take the sting out of bigger bumps, while the suspension's dampening is finely judged, smoothing out any unwanted nastiness. It's also impressively quiet, with very little road or wind noise making its way to the cabin. The brake pedal is also pleasantly progressive despite featuring hybrid regen. Typically, handling is not that important in a compact SUV purchase, but the Tucson also handles well enough. It has a nice natural steering curve and great feedback from its assisted rack. The steering weighs up nicely in corners and never feels too disconnected, almost surprising in an otherwise ordinary SUV. Here is the long and short of it. Both SUVs are very attractive in their own rights, but the new Tiguan not only fixed what it lacked in the last year's model, this new generation just goes above and beyond anything in its segment, not only in design, but both in refinement and driver engagement alike, which makes it the winner in this comparison.